Hey everyone, this is Friedel Hakarage Raven. I'm here with my recap and review of Digimon Adventures, the 2020 anime, episode number 52, which is titled Dance of the Heavens, Hohomon or Phoenixmon. So I was looking forward to this episode, especially because I am a fan of Sora. I like her as a character, and I do feel that our current writers weren't able to handle her characterization well. But anyway, this episode was supposed to be the debut of Hohomon or Phoenixmon, and of course I was excited. Now, in the previous episodes, we found out that after the fight with Millenniumon, it turns out that there's still a very big catastrophe that's on its way, and the children have to figure out the secrets or the mystery of the crests in order to stop that mysterious being, whoever it is, who has orchestrated everything that's been going on, allegedly. And the only hint that we have is this giant eye that keeps appearing. And from what I know, I have been stalking some fandom accounts, and I think a whole lot of the fandom don't necessarily know who this mysterious Digimon is supposed to be. It might be an entirely new Digimon created for this anime. Who knows? Anyway, moving forward, we know that Kojiro decided to stay back at the data tree because he's trying to compile data and figure out what's happening, while the rest of the Digidestined ended up going their separate ways. Joe is with Hikari and Takeru and is going to the hot springs, and we have Sora and Taichi making their way through the sky, and they notice this island and there's smoke coming out of the volcano. And the way that these two crashed on the island, it made no sense to me. I was like, wait, do you really have to go through the smoke? Do you really have to bump into each other and then the Digimon crash on the island? It was very, very weird. It felt unnecessary. I think that the writers could have figured out a better way for these two to arrive on the island. Anyway, they're here and they end up meeting Junkmon. And it turns out that there are a whole lot of Digimon living on this island, and of course it has an active volcano on there. And Pyomon is like, wait, so why don't you guys just leave the island? But it turns out that the Digimon living on this island really like this island for some reason, and they don't want to leave. However, they have to figure out a way to be safe from the lava that explodes from the volcano. And it turns out that through Junkmon's leadership, they are building these giant walls in order to redirect the flow of the lava. And I'm like, that's a whole lot of work that you guys are putting in just to live in this island. Like, why don't you just leave? But it is what it is. So Sora and the rest decide to help Junkmon, and they're like, you know what, Junkmon, we need to help you. And Junkmon is like, yeah, you guys are new to this, so you need to realize that I prioritize safety a lot. So you guys need to wear helmets. And look at Taichi wearing his goggles over his helmet, and I'm like, okay, Taichi, style queen, whatever. So it turns out that there's a lot of junk on the island which the Digimon use in order to build the giant walls. And Sora asks Taichi whether or not the junk on this island is actually from the real world. And we have seen stuff from the real world appeared in the Digimon world before. So maybe, just maybe, this island might end up playing a role as the story moves forward. Who knows? So everyone's working and they are doing fine. However, a tremor occurs and there's a mini explosion. And in order to rescue Sora, Pyomon tackles her. However, Pyomon ends up getting hurt, and this is where Sora is like, Pyomon, I want you to sit tight. I don't want you getting hurt while we are working on this giant wall. So I need you to just stay safe and just rest. And even Junkmon is like, yeah, as I said, I prioritize safety. So Pyomon, it's best that you just sit this one out. And Pyomon is like, but Sora, we always do everything together. I just can't sit on the sidelines while you work. And Sora is like, you know what, Pyomon, it is what it is. So just deal with it. And this is where we get to see a clash between Sora and Pyomon. Sora is the kind of character who actually cares a lot about other people, and of course she blames herself for Pyomon getting hurt. However, Pyomon is the type of character who wants to be seen as someone who's useful, so she's like, wait, I want to be helpful, I want to help others, I want to help Sora. And sitting around and doing nothing is really eating her up from the inside. So we see Sora working a lot. She's basically doing the work of two people, and Pyomon just continues to grow sad. And yeah, Pyomon is like, Sora, I'm not hurt anymore. Even though it's a minor injury, I can help you. And Sora is like, you know what, Pyomon, we can't risk this, because even if you end up helping me, what if you get hurt again because of me? So I don't want that. And yeah, this is where Pyomon and Sora end up having a disagreement. And the disagreement between these two felt like disagreement that you might see between parents and the children, because the love that the parents have for the children, it basically deals with never wanting to get the children hurt, being way too paranoid or concerned about their safety, and basically wanting your children away from harm. And Pyomon is like, you can't treat me like that. We are partners. We should do everything together, and I don't like you treating me like this. You have to trust me. You have to trust me that I won't get hurt. And Sora is like, no, Pyomon, I just can't do that. And Pyomon ends up literally saying that I hate you, Sora, and she runs off. Like, the entire thing reminded me of how, children would throw tantrums in front of their parents and keep on saying that they hate their parents every chance that they get. So it kind of reminded me a lot of that. So while Pyomon is moping around, we see Sora trying to repair the damage in the wall, and of course she can't focus. She's worried about Pyomon. She is like, maybe I was way too harsh on Pyomon. Maybe I should apologize. And this is where Junkmon comes in, and Sora is like, Junkmon, you end up doing dangerous work as well because you are concerned about your team, right? And Junkmon is like, well, you aren't wrong. However, I have to say that the creation of this wall wouldn't be possible without the full effort from my team. We have to trust each other. We have to work together. And this is where Sora realizes that, yup, of course she loves Pyomon, and of course she doesn't want Pyomon getting hurt. However, she has to trust Pyomon. She has to allow Pyomon to help whenever she can. And while Sora decides to go ahead and apologize to Pyomon, we cut to Pyomon, and she's thinking of apologizing to Sora as well, because of course she feels bad that she told Sora that she hates her, which of course we know that she doesn't. Before Sora could go back to Pyomon, the actual volcano ends up erupting, and the Digimon run away, and Sora ends up trying to repair the damaged wall in a hurry. And Junkmon is like, Sora, leave this be, girl. We can't do this right now. We have to run. And Sora is like, but what about the wall? And Junkmon is like, you know what? When it comes to battling nature, you have to put your life first. So let's get out of here. Agumon digivolves into Metal Greymon, and him and Taichi end up helping the rest of the Digimon who can't escape quickly. And the lava keeps on pouring in, and of course Pyomon is trying to find Sora. As Sora and Junkmon are trying to run away from the lava, Junkmon gets hurt, and Sora has to help Junkmon walk. As Pyomon reaches the scene, and they hug it out, they apologize to each other. And one of the things that I really liked about how the writers handled their relationship is basically that, yes, Sora has a very maternal instinct. However, she's treating Pyomon as a child. She's treating Pyomon as a pet. However, we do know that these Digimon aren't the kids' pets. They are their DigiPartners. And when we're talking about a partnership, there has to be an equal balance in the relationship. So Sora can't treat Pyomon as a kid. She has to trust her, and Pyomon has to trust Sora in return, and together they have to face all of the dangers that come their way. Sora is able to take Junkmon to Taichi, and she's like, Taichi, I need you to help evacuate all of the Digimon from the island, take them to the ocean, while Birdman and I try to handle the lava. So Birdmon ends up digivolving into Garudamon, and Garudamon picks up this giant piece of metal in order to repair the wall, and of course there isn't time to actually repair it, so Garudamon just stands there in order to block the lava. However, there's a whole lot of lava and it overflows, and yeah, the scene where Garudamon and Sora end up being engulfed in lava, I was like, wait, how the heck is this possible? But yeah, it turns out that the Garudamon's power is able to keep Sora protected, which kind of makes sense because Garudamon is a fire Digimon from what I can tell. And yeah, you would assume that Garudamon has some sort of control over fire, so I guess it's able to be immune from lava and also able to keep Sora protected. And this is where both of them talk about how they have to deal with the situation together, and as long as they're together, there's nothing that can bring them down, and that they love each other and they respect each other. And again, as I said, because these two beings are partners, there has to be an equal balance between these two. Sora can't be the mother in the relationship while she treats Pyomon as a child. Both of them should be on equal footing. And yeah, when you are in love with someone, whether it's romantic or platonic, there has to be mutual respect between each other, and that's what Sora and Garudamon are able to realize in this episode, and that's what helps Sora unlock Garudamon's Mega Evolution, which is Hohomon or Phoenixmon. And I personally really liked Phoenixmon's design with that chubby belly and looking like an actual bird. And I also like the holy rings around the talons, the feet. Phoenixmon emerges from the lava, which was a very cool scene, and she's like, you know what, Sora, we have to handle this. And of course, because Phoenixmon has power over fire, she's able to pull up all of the lava from the island, and Phoenixmon, using her powers, is able to create this tall beam of lava while the rest of the Digimon look in awe. And we also find out that Junkmon's injuries have also been healed from Phoenixmon's aura. And yeah, the closing moments of the episode shows this beautiful image of Phoenixmon flying around this beam of lava. And I'm not really sure if this beam or this island is going to play a role in the upcoming episodes, but yeah, if it does, it kind of makes sense, because I do think that the way that the writers had this beam of lava created, there has to be something to it, right? Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? Because again, Sora talked about how things from the real world end up at this island, so like something might be up. So after rescuing the island and its inhabitants, this is where Sora looks at her compass, and the compass is still directing her to go further. And when Taichi looks at his compass, it's still spinning around crazy. So Sora is like, you know what, Taichi, Birdman and I are going to head forward. And Taichi is like, we don't necessarily know where we have to go. And Junkmon is like, why? Well, I'm headed to the hot springs in order to recuperate. So why don't you accompany me? And Taichi is like, yeah, you know what? It's a good idea, because Joe, Hikari, and Takiro are making their way there as well. So let's go. And this is where the episode ends. Personally, I really enjoyed this episode. I actually kind of like the decision to not introduce a Digimon villain in this episode, and it focused more on the kids trying to figure out how to deal with a natural disaster. I like that. However, I do feel that because Junkmon ran his Digimon team as if he was a manager in a company, it would have been very interesting if Mimi was there, and I would have liked to hear her opinion on how Junkmon was running stuff, because she comes from an industrial family. Anyway, Sora is headed somewhere else, so maybe Sora is going to be the one who ends up meeting with Yamato and Mimi, who knows, because from the preview of the next episode, we do know that Taichi will be the one meeting up with Joe and Hikari and Takiro while they're facing this weird evil Digimon who has taken control of the hot springs. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below, and until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later. Bye.